Leather Rokk here. Welcome to my channel. And today I'm going to show you a green, turquoise, and brown look that I came up with using the BH Cosmetics Wild and Alluring palette. I know I've shown you this palette before. It's good to revisit tried and true products and find new ways to use them. And of course, you remember Cassie. And my tabby boy just ran under my bed. He doesn't want to be part of this video. So, and you know, controlling cats is kind of easier said than done. Before we get started, I'm going to tie up my hair. And now, if this camera seems like it speeds up and slows down, I do apologize. I have an appointment with Best Buy's Geek Squad on Saturday afternoon, and I'm filming this at 5:17 on a Thursday morning. So for a couple of days the webcam was not working and I didn't even have sound on my computer. However, today the sound has been working and I knew I had to come up with a video to post for today, so here it is. Okay, let's get started. I have my trusty coconut oil here, and I have tissue, and I didn't think to get a wet washcloth, so we're just going to hope that I don't make too much of a mess and hope I don't knock too many things down here. Okay, I really love this coconut oil. I hope I didn't use too much to get it in my eyes, because that's never good. Now, the eyeliner I originally used for this actually ran out while I was applying it, so I had to go over it with a pencil. But at least I know that I'm using up my products. Maybe I'll talk about that later on in this video. Okay. Alrighty. For my foundation today, I've been using the Sassy and Chic BB cream. It only comes in 3 colors: light, medium, and dark. The dark one is not very dark for you with very dark skin colors. And the light is really not the lightest you could come up with. In fact, it's a little bit on the dark side for my skin. But I got it at Dollar Tree, so the price is right. And considering that this is still the tail end of summer, I might as well use it up, because this should be the time of the year that my skin is at its natural darkest. Not that dark and my skin have anything in common. I'm going to put a little bit of this all over my eye, not just on the eyelid like I always do, but also some of the surrounding area, because you have to allow for the coconut oil to take off some of the surrounding makeup. And if I were to forget to do that, there would be maybe some redness that I don't want. Okay, now the great thing about this, usually I would put a coat underneath it to allow the eyeshadows to adhere, but when you put on a foundation like this really fresh and it hasn't had a chance to dry down, then it will still be moist and it will give your eyeshadow something to stick to. This is where I keep my brushes that I'm using. This is supposed to have a lampshade on it, and if you recall the reference, it's from a movie called The Christmas Story. And my mother got this for me one Christmas, and the great thing is, when she got it for me, she timed our Christmas present opening to coincide with the movie, and by the time I opened up this present, they came to the scene where the father figure opened up the leg lamp. So I'll always have that memory of my family. Now, we're going to begin this look this is a brush that I got from VIVACE, which is either Vivace or Vivace. I got it at the dollar store. And we're going to use the lightest green in this palette. I hope you can see. Now, interesting thing about this palette compared to most of the eyeshadow palettes I have, some of these colors, most of these colors are actually more than one color kind of swirled in. And in this particular pale green, there's also an area here that's really light that has some like gold and some kind of darker white in it. And I'm going to concentrate it on the lighter color. Tabby boy, stop that. Is it ever a video that I yell at Tabby boy? Tabby boy! Oh yeah, meow yourself. I know what you're actually saying. You can't print it in the paper. So I'm going to use the tip of this brush and I'm going to dip it into the lighter color that's on this green here. And this is going to be my brow bone. I'm going to get close to the camera so you can actually see. And I'm going to hit the brow bone and get some nice coverage because I want the shine to show up. It's not going to, if you have very pale skin like I do, it's probably not going to show up too much, but you will mostly get some shine from this. And I'm going to take it down to about the crease. Alrighty. The second color I'm going to apply, if I get the right brush, is going to be, there is a lighter, kind of like a lime green color. Now, unfortunately, the reason why this shadow pan has hit pan is because I dropped this palette one too many times and some crumblies and half the shadow fell onto my filthy carpet. So, but there's still enough here to be usable. And I'm swirling into the brush. Another nice thing about this palette is the pans are set in deep enough so that if you do get some crumblies, some fallout, you can still use it easily. And it's also easy to wet them if you want to. But we're not doing any wetting of the brushes for this particular look. With this, I'm just applying to the crease. I hope you can see this well. Oh yeah, this is another VIVACE brush. I really like their brushes, and at 99 cents plus tax, you can't beat them. I don't know if they're this inexpensive in other places. You know, just to make sure that both sides match, I'm going to retouch the side here. It's always tricky getting both sides to match when I do my tutorials this way. Okay, now for the outer wing, I'm using the turquoise shade in this. And this turquoise shade is actually my favorite shade of all the colors in this palette. And yeah, this is another VIVACE brush. It's a little bit bigger than the other eyeshadow brushes. This is good for both depositing and blending color. I really can't say enough about these brushes. Now for the wing, I'm just going to hook it up here. Sweep it a little bit. I'm going to actually get kind of a skinny triangle, which is pretty much what these wings are. I'm just hoping that they match. If not, just darken up a little bit, because I think that the layer underneath is a little bit tackier on this side than it was on this side. Okay, I hope they match. Now for the crease color, make sure I have the right brush here. Yeah, let me make sure that I have the right. Oh, here it is. That's the thing, when all your eyeshadow brushes that you're using are pretty much the same size, you really want to make sure that you're using the right brush that has the right color in it. For the crease color, I'm dipping into the brown metallic shade. Well, all these are metallics in this palette, but this is a really weird, it's kind of more than a duochrome. By duochrome, I mean there's more than one color actually in the shadow. This is a dark frosty brown, but also has some green, some blue swirls in it, which gives it a really interesting, complex, multifaceted look, even though it's still kind of a subtle look. At least it's subtle for me. And to achieve this, just sweep it in the crease, not too hard. And instead of carrying it all the way to the edge, I'm stopping where the wing starts. Make sure that they match here. If not, touch a little bit more here. I hear you, Tabby boy. Okay. Now, this is the eyeliner that I'm using. I actually started to use a liquid eyeliner, and it was actually running out on me, and it was actually kind of scraping off a little bit and scraping off the shadow. So I had to switch eyeliners when I was doing this look. So I'm using a pencil made by Wet n Wild. It's their Kohl Icon series, and the color is called Baby Got Black. And it's cost me all of 99 cents plus tax. I really like some of Wet n Wild's products, mostly for the price point, because I'm a cheap broad. Let's be honest here. I think that in this day and age, a person should be frugal. Now, I'm doing both the waterline and the upper lash line for this. I'm going to start with, no, actually the waterline is on the bottom. And I'm going to take a chance at actually using the screen to do this. It's really a good idea to sharpen your pencil before every use. I didn't do so. One of the reasons is because sometimes if they're older pencils, they get kind of splintery, and the last thing you want is splinters in your eyes. I've been lucky to not really have that problem so far. I've gotten splinters on other areas of my body, especially in my dancing days. I've gotten splinters from the stage on my chest and on my shoulders and on my backside. And if you watch my garden videos, you'll know that sometimes I've gotten splinters on the wooden walkway in my garden. For the lower lash line, I'm going to get back to this because I haven't done using the black eyeliner. For the lower lash line, I'm using a green pencil that is from Covergirl. It is, I believe they're called eye slicks. I've had it a couple years now, so the lettering is all rubbed off on it. And I think the color is called Lime, but it's pretty much a lime green. This is not metallic. This is a matte shade. And I'm just going underneath. And you know what? Since the waterline looks kind of heavy on this side, I'm going to do it over on this side, because I hate it when my eyes don't match. Don't you? Of course, if you're not doing a tutorial where you do this format, where you do the full makeup off camera, and then you just take half of it off to do on camera, then this issue won't apply to you. But since this is the way I do it, this is an issue I have. Alright, I hope these are looking halfway like they match. Now it's time to do the upper lash line. Now I almost wish I'd sharpened it. And then carry the wing up, not too far. What do you think? I'm going to show you the mascara I'm using once I put the caps and everything. The mascara I'm using is from Covergirl. It's called their SuperSizer Fibers. And this is actually not my favorite mascara. I kind of like it in theory because the fibers obviously give some lengthening to your lashes. Instead of having a brush, this has a couple of combs. And so it's supposed to build the lashes. I imagine if you do enough coats, it will build the lashes. But frankly, and this is just my opinion, for a mascara that has fibers, this is not the most lash building mascara I've ever tried. Now, one advantage though it does have, because it has combs on it instead of brushes, is it enables you to get really close to the roots of your lashes. And if you, like me, have very blonde small, hard to see lashes, you want to be able to get your lash color really close to the root. Otherwise, you have what looks like blonde roots. And I think I know a thing or two about roots. Oh, by the way, if my hair color looks like it's faded again, and I'll take it down and I'll show it off some more. I went to a pool party a couple of weeks ago, and you know, I don't wash my hair very much at all. I stayed in the pool from about 2 o'clock in the afternoon until about 7. And when I finally got home, I didn't shampoo it out because I really don't like to wash my hair too much. What I did do is I rinsed my hair and I applied a conditioner to it and I rinsed it out. Now, an interesting effect of the chlorine is it seemed to have lightened my hair out, which I probably should have expected, but it also seemed to bring out some blue in it. And I don't know if you can see in this light, but I have some little light blue streaks in my hair. Now, blue is by far not my favorite color, but I really don't mind this. And the input I get from other people is that they like all the colors in it. I still hope that it looks primarily purple because I am a purple-haired girl, and purple is my favorite color. And that is the color that I prefer my hair to be. I was debating refreshing it yet again, but I just refreshed it a couple of weeks ago. The length only, not touching the roots, because I didn't want to deal with bleaching it and everything. But I'm really thinking that maybe I'm having second thoughts about what I thought of that dye, because look how fast it faded after just one application. So that dye that I showed you last time, I don't know if I'm going to get it again, because when you put dye on your hair, I think you expect it to last more than a couple of weeks. Of course, if they made more of these purples permanent, we wouldn't be having this discussion. But for some reason, all the beauty supply places where I live, it's really hard to find permanent purples, at least at a price point that I want to pay for. Now, I understand that on the mainland, because I live on a barrier island, on the mainland there are some beauty supplies that if you have a cosmetology license, you can get them. I went to beauty school, but unfortunately I didn't go the full term, so I don't have a license. So that's why I'm not working in a salon right now. But I still do hair on the side. I cut and color my mother's hair. I cut homeless people's hair on occasion. I cut and color hair for my friends. So I keep in practice. Okay, what do you think? I'm going to tell you what all the rest I used on my face. I didn't use my typical contour. Instead, and I didn't use a blush at all. Instead, I used the bronzer that comes with this Wild and Alluring palette. And because I figured that brown and a bronzy color would look better with these greens and the turquoise and stuff. I'll show you the lipstick I'm wearing, because sometimes I forget, and after I've already done the video, then I realize I didn't tell you what the lipstick is. I use from BH Cosmetics their Cream Luxe lipstick, and the color is called Foxy Gold. Tabby, boy, stop that! Oh, he's so bad. And I used the same highlighter that I typically use. This is also from B&H Cosmetics, their Black Light Highlight Palette. And I used this color here. Meow, go meow yourself. It's called Electra. And it is very frosty, pale gold. It shows up more white than anything else. Tabby boy, hold on a second. Oh, I tried to pick him up to show you, but he ran under my bed. You know, cats are going to do what they want to do. But I use this brush, which is supposed to be a foundation brush. And this is another brush from Vivace, V-I-V-A-C-E. Another 99-cent store brush. I'm telling you, I don't know why anybody buys $30, $40, $50 makeup brushes. From my experience, okay, I can't say from my experience because I've not plunked down top dollar like that for a makeup brush. But if you can get away with spending discount prices on your products, why wouldn't you? There's some people, I do like to occasionally watch other YouTubers' makeup videos, because it's good to see what's out there. It's good to know how you're different and how you're similar. And plus, I'm not going to say that I'm not humble enough that I can't learn something from somebody else, whether they're older than me or whether they're younger than me. There's a lot of talents out there, and I think we should support each other. But these inexpensive brushes suit me just fine. These drugstore makeup products suit me just fine. Sometimes with foundations, I have a hard time finding a color that's light enough. But then you can always, when you're white like me, you can always mix white face into a foundation. And even though it changes the way the formula feels, at least you can adjust for the color. I imagine that black people can use different colors and mix them with their foundations to get the right color match. That's what we do, and I don't mind doing that. So, what do you think? Oh yeah, my eyebrows, unfortunately, after I did my eyebrows, I set the product aside someplace, and I couldn't find it prior to filming, but I'll tell you what I used. I used an E.L.F product, eyes, lips, face. It is called an eyeshadow stick, ShadowLiner stick. The color is called Plum Purple, I believe, or Poppin' Plum, or something like that. I will list it in the show notes, the description that you'll find underneath this video. But one thing I really like about it is that it just comes, it's a stick in a wand, and it's like a really skinny lipstick, and you just draw it over the shape of your natural eyebrows, if in fact your eyebrows are shaped like that. These are what my eyebrows look like naturally, except they don't have much color, because as you can see, I'm a pale redhead naturally, and I probably got to get at those roots soon. So there you have it. That is how I did my makeup. Give you one more close-up. It was easy and kind of sort of slightly natural looking. Maybe not to you, but to me kind of sort of it is. But that's how you do it. Now, if you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you like me and my content, I'd love to have you subscribe. You know I put new content out Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Love to have you along. Till then, talk to you soon. Oh, and Cassie says goodbye. Say goodbye. Bye.